So welcome back guys. So in this session we'll be exploring our Wamp server interface. So this is the home page of your local host. Alright, so to get into the backend, you click on this your aliases section, the column. You click on page my admin. This is version 5.1.1. This is version 4.9.0. So I'll click on 5.1.1. So once I click on it, you might find this empty, the username and password. So the default username is root, no password. Then you can select your server choice, that is the database that you want to run your your backend with. So I'll leave it at MySQL, then I'll click go. So this is the inner side of your local host. Alright, so this is the inner side. So if you want to change the password to the root account, you can click on this, change the password, then you click OK. It might probably log you out and you need to log in back. Alright, but it's not advisable to use this the root account to start creating your website from a local host. And the reason why you might need to create websites on a local host first before moving into a live website, a live server, is because you might get, if you have a big project that will take maybe a month or more than let's say a month, you want to start building a website on a live server for a whole month, you'll be wasting data. Right, so you can create that on your system once you feel it's done, or once you want to present it to the client. You can now upload it to the live server. Then it will save you some cost in that way. All right, so that is why you need this knowledge. So what we are going to do is we will create another user account. So we'll click on this user account tab. So this is the table of, you can see user account overview. This is the table. So this is the table of the user account you can use to log in. All right, so this is root, the username with which we used to log in. So what we are going to do is to come down here and click on add user account. All right, so username, I'm going to type web design class. So let me just leave it at web design. Host name, you can use any host, or just click on local. So click on local. Right, but if you want to move this, let's say this, you are creating a website that you want to move to a live server, so you can use any host. All right, so that it will change automatically when you move it to live server. So I'll click on localhost for this. All right, so our password, what can I use? So let me just use so you can see the strength of the password. If you don't know how to um, generate a strong password, so you can use the generate password option here. Alright, so this is your password. You have to copy it and save it somewhere on your system. All right, but I'm not using it. All right, so I'm not using this. So I'll use my password. Okay, so authentication plugin, you don't need to change this SHA-256. So I'll just leave it here. Database for user accounts, and click on create database with same name and grant all privileges. So you can click on this if you want the same database to be created in the same name you have used, right? So if I click on this now, at the end of this account creation, it will create a database here on the left side of the screen named web design. All right, so let me just uncheck it. Then I want to grant all privileges on wildcard name. Right, so okay, there's no need for this. So here, down here, click on I'll check all. So I'm giving a global privilege to this account, that is, it will be a super account. I can do anything I want within the database here. So however, if you maybe you have someone that you hired someone that you want to work with, maybe to manage your website, the database, right? So you can create an account for that person, and then you won't grant the person a global privilege. So you just come and select whichever one you think the person will need. But this administration, you want to be careful of the privilege you give to that person, so that they won't have access to what they're not supposed to have access to. All right, so resource limits, maximum query per hour. So if you want unlimited query, you can leave it at 000, so that you won't limit it. All right, so SSL require none, require SSL. So what this one means is that here you will see that this localhost is showing your connection to this site isn't secure. All right, so we can't install SSL here on localhost. For now, I don't know how to do it. Maybe there's a way to do it, but so that's not the point of this tutorial. So I'll just um, click on require none. So there's no SSL required. Then so I think that's all. Then I'll click on go. So this will generate a user name, a user account, web design, that I can use to log into this PHP my admin. Excuse me. So if I log out here and I want to log in back, I can use that account I created. So web design, then I'll enter my password, and I click on go. So you can see that I have logged in now. So I didn't use the root account, so I can now create any website I want with this account. So it is just one of the security measures you need to take. So in order to mitigate easy access to your backend, right? So if you use root, it's a default account without password. So it means that anybody that that is able to come to your backend can just log in directly. So that is that about creating an account. So if you want to create a database table manually, you can click on new, then web design. So I'll just fill this little form, this single input form here, web design. I'll leave this as default. All right, so I want to check all, enables let's check all. Right, I'll just leave it, and then I'll click on create. So we have created a blank database named web design. Right, so I can start creating table here, maybe user, right? Then so that table this table can have username, user email, password, and another column, right? So then I'll leave it at 4. If you have more information, you can add more columns, right? So then I'll fill in this username, email address, let me just say phone number, uh, let me use password, right? Password. All right, so the type of input field, so the type of variable that I want to create. So the type of the variable is character, right? So you can click on variable character. Email, do we have data type for email? Okay, let's just click on text. Phone number, we'll click on int. All right, password, then we'll click on let's click on string. Let's click on variable character. The length, you can input the length of this one, this one. The default length of phone number, it's 11, so you can put 11 here. Password infinite. All right, so default as defined. So just try and explore all these attributes. So you can try and explore all this, it will, and just create the table. Right, invalid length, or you can put 200. Actually, we don't need to create a manual table for the website we want to build using WordPress, because WordPress has its own tables that will just import for you. So all you need to do is create a database like this, like we've created. So all you need to do is to create a database, and that's all. You don't need to create tables inside the database. Right, so I will just go back, and so I'll go back. We've created our database, and that's all. All right, so if we want to export database, you click on export. There are no tables, but if we have tables inside, it will show you the process to export. Adventure, if you have, maybe you've created your database from the back end, you want to, from localhost, um, you want to export it to a live server. So you can click on export to show you then to generate the format for you. Then when you get to live server, you come to import, then you select the file that you've downloaded. All right, you select it, you then come down here, you select the format, because when you are exporting, when you want to export it, to tell you to enter the format you want. So you click on the right format that you've exported with. Right, so then you click on go, so it will import everything that you've done. So and it will update your database. So that is that. So operations, this is, like I said, you want to create table, so this is where you come. Privileges, so we have two user accounts here, web design and the root. Okay, so the root, we entered the PHP admin dashboard using root, then we created our own user account as web design. All right, so if you want to create another user account, you just click on add user account, then you fill in the form, you create another user account. So that is it. So there's nothing really to explain. Okay, status. So status there will show us the traffic information, the number of requests, the size of requests we've received, the size of requests we've sent back. Then this is the total aborted. So this is showing you the breakdown of connections. All right, so maximum concurrent correction connection, failed attempts, aborted. Maybe when you have website that lags, right, or maybe your hosting plan cannot carry the traffic that you receive, so there will be records here that you can come and use to investigate. All right, so processes, what are the things running on your account? All right, so you are going to see them here. So you can see MySQL is running. If other process is also running, you can see it from here. So we know that we are using MySQL, so we can kill it. But if you detect that you have a process that is running and you did not enable it, you don't have any idea about it, so you can click this kill. It will definitely kill that process. However, if you kill process that you're not supposed to kill, it can break the whole of your website. All right, so you need to be very careful of what you do here, what you do in the back end here. generally, not just this side. All right. So query statistics, it's showing what we've queried so far. So these are not really important. Right? So this side is just for you to be able to know the processes, everything that is running in your backend, right? So this section is for it. So if you want to also monitor by graph, so connections and processes, it will start showing some information now. So we have two connections or two processes running. So this is what is showing you: two connections, two processes. So traffic, we have byte received. That means we did not, nobody is sending request to this server. 0.8 kilobytes, right? So byte sent, we are viewing this page, so it means that something is responding to our request. That's why this is showing. Okay, so CPU usage, so you need to be watchful. If your CPU usage is, you can see that it's showing that it's average load. Yeah, this is the peak. So if it is showing up to 80%, then you should be careful. You should know that you are exceeding your threshold of your CPU, because it can break your website. Also, system memory. So if you are viewing this on so this data that we are viewing now is coming from my system right now, because it's the local host. We are hosting this database on this website, or on this laptop, on this system, right? So it's showing every information pertaining to this system. So if you are viewing this on live host, then it will be showing you the information of your server, your live server, everything that is running on your live server to be showing you there. All right, so that is that. Then we can also view advisor. By adventure, if your website is running slow and you want to just investigate, so this is, you can come to this status section and view what is going on, right? But before you even come here, it must be a very critical issue, uh, because most of problems that you might face building a website can be resolved in the WordPress and admin section. So you might never need to come here. You might not need to come here to resolve any issue. Right? So if you need to come here, you need to be very careful of what you do, what you set here, so that this um, you won't break your website. Right? So that is all about the back end of your of our local host. All right, so in the next session we will be installing WordPress, and also we'll design some websites. All right, hope to see you in the next class. Thank you.